In the bustle of everyday life, we often find ourselves reflecting on the importance of taking care of ourselves. In this video, we will explore a concept from Stoic thought that is often misunderstood: selfishness. We invite you to consider how essential and beneficial it is to focus properly on ourselves. Join us on this journey of discovery, where we will explore how wise selfishness can actually enrich not only the individual, but also the community to which they belong. We will analyze how taking care of oneself should not be seen as an act of neglect towards others, but as an essential strategy for a balanced and responsible existence. In an era where altruism is often celebrated as the highest of values, the concept of selfishness can provoke controversy. However, Stoic teachings offer us a more nuanced and balanced view of this concept. For the Stoics, taking care of oneself is not an act of pure selfishness, but a form of personal responsibility that allows one to live in harmony with nature and others. Taking care of oneself should not be perceived as a denial of others' needs, but as a foundation for a resilient and productive existence. Without adequate self-support, we find ourselves less equipped to face life's challenges and to effectively assist those around us. Moreover, self-care becomes essential during times of personal change or growth, such as during academic education, a career transition, or periods of personal stress. In these moments, well-dosed selfishness allows one to recharge one's energies and refocus one's priorities. This type of selfishness is not only healthy but necessary. It is the recognition that to nourish others, one must first nourish oneself. Like a gardener who cares for their own garden to then offer fruits to others, so must we care for our inner well-being to be able to support others without depleting ourselves. This is a vital lesson, often overlooked in a culture that rewards those who sacrifice without limits. Incorporating self-care practices into one's daily life, such as meditation, physical exercise, a balanced diet, and time dedicated to personal hobbies and passions, is not only an act of love towards oneself, but also a statement of how we intend to live responsibly within our community. This allows us to maintain a balance that benefits not only the individual, but the entire social fabric. The art of saying no is a fundamental pillar of self-preservation and Stoic wisdom. In Stoic practice, knowing how to refuse is not just an act of self-defense, but also a demonstration of clarity and inner strength. Refusing what is not in harmony with our values or simply exceeds our current capacities is not selfishness. It is an expression of authenticity and respect for one's own life and resources. Teaching oneself the courage to say no can be transformative. This is not only about refusing external commitments or requests, but also about the ability to refuse limiting internal thoughts and harmful habits that can compromise our well-being. Stoic philosophy teaches us that every no spoken with awareness is a yes to a more conscious and intentional life. Dedicating time to understand when and how to say no can free up significant resources that can be better used to pursue goals that truly reflect our deepest desires and our most solid principles. This process requires insight and courage, as it often involves choosing to go against the current or disappoint others' expectations. Establishing healthy boundaries is a sign of respect for oneself and others. When we clearly communicate our boundaries, we not only protect ourselves from unnecessary stress and overload, but also facilitate more honest and open relationships. Those around us benefit from this clarity, as it eliminates ambiguities and misunderstandings, creating an environment where mutual respect is the norm. In the Stoic context, authentic selfishness is considered not only acceptable, but essential for achieving a full and meaningful life. This type of selfishness is distinguished by its attention to personal fulfillment in a way that respects harmony with others and the outside world. It is the expression of a commitment to one's own development, which triggers well-being that also radiates to those around us. Living authentically means listening to and honoring one's needs and desires without trampling on those of others. In this light, selfishness transforms into a path of profound self-discovery and respect for one's life journey. Through the practice of internal reflection and recognition of one's true passions and fears, we can clearly define who we are and what we want to achieve. The Stoic approach to authenticity involves a constant evaluation and recalibration of our goals and actions. This process may require making difficult, sometimes selfish choices, such as distancing oneself from relationships or situations that no longer reflect our fundamental values or that hinder our personal growth. However, these acts of selfishness are actually steps toward greater personal integrity. Being true to oneself and acting accordingly establishes a course of conduct that others can understand and respect. This generates not only self-esteem but also mutual respect, as authenticity encourages others to interact with us in a more open and sincere manner. Selfishness, understood as self-care and fidelity to one's principles, is therefore a catalyst for living more fully and satisfyingly. It leads to a life where decisions and actions are aligned with the deepest values, and this internal consistency is reflected in greater peace and clarity in all areas of life. A Stoic approach to selfishness not only promotes individual well-being, but can also enrich the community in significant ways. When people make conscious decisions regarding their own care, they increase their ability to contribute positively to their social and professional environments. The concept of conscious selfishness is based on the premise that taking care of oneself in a thoughtful and intentional manner allows one to be more present and active in interpersonal relationships. This type of attitude promotes a culture of mutual respect and support, as each individual approaches others not from a position of need or weakness, but from one of strength and stability. This dynamism creates a cascade effect within communities. Individuals who feel emotionally and physically healthy are more inclined to offer support to colleagues, participate in community initiatives, and act as pillars of strength and resilience in their social groups. Moreover, an individual who practices conscious selfishness is better equipped to teach others how to do the same, fostering an environment where collective well-being is valued and promoted. Finally, respecting one's own limits and needs not only protects the individual from burnout, but also ensures that personal resources are used in a more effective and sustainable manner. Communities benefit from members who maintain a balance between giving and receiving, thus establishing a model of healthy and sustainable interaction. By incorporating conscious selfishness into their lives, individuals can thus improve not only their own quality of life, but also that of their community, demonstrating that well-considered self-care is essential for collective well-being. Stoic selfishness, far from being a denial of sociability or a rejection of others, is an invitation to cultivate one's resilience and autonomy to interact with the world in a more meaningful and sustainable way. This type of selfishness is not rooted in indifference but in deep awareness that to effectively serve others, we must first ensure that we are ourselves in a state of balance and health. Reflecting on selfishness in Stoic terms invites us to reconsider our preconceived ideas about the term and rediscover it as an essential form of self-care. Stoic philosophy holds that taking care of oneself is the first step toward a virtuous and productive life. Without a solid personal foundation, our actions risk being less effective, and our efforts to help others may not be sustainable. In conclusion, Stoic selfishness teaches us that maintaining one's mental, physical, and emotional health is not just an act of personal responsibility, but also a requirement for living a virtuous life and serving the community. It is a critical component for building a life that is not only individually rewarding, but also contributes to the collective well-being. This reflection challenges us to continually evaluate our priorities and renew our commitment to our health and happiness, essential for active and compassionate participation in the world. In this journey of exploring the value of Stoic selfishness, we invite you to reflect on how the balance between self-care and responsibility toward others can be improved in your life. Every individual has the potential to transform their own existence and that of the community through conscious choices that favor personal and collective growth. How can you apply these principles in your daily life to promote not only your well-being, but also that of the people around you? Remember, the art of living according to Stoic principles is not limited to theory, but is realized through daily actions that reflect a commitment to continuous improvement and compassion. We conclude this journey with an invitation to maintain curiosity and to engage in ongoing reflection on how your actions can be guided by Stoic wisdom that enriches every aspect of life. We urge you to share your experiences and reflections in the comments and to stay with us for further explorations and discussions. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and activate the bell so you don't miss our future insights. Together we can continue to grow, learn, and find new paths towards a fulfilling and satisfying life.